32 home runs, 103 RBIs, 151 games played. And he's waiting. That right there is what gets me. It's not the news itself that worries me, it's the tone of it. It's the way Seiya Suzuki talked about his own future with the team he helped carry through last season. A guy who just had the best year of his career, who is a central piece of a World Series contender, who clearly loves this city. And he said, "I hope they say yes." Stop. Breathe. I hope they say yes. You know what kind of player talks like that? A loyal player, a humble player, a player who isn't using his agent to leak interest from other teams, who isn't creating public pressure, who isn't playing to the crowd. And you know what that kind of player historically gets in return in this league? Silence. Until it becomes a problem. I'm not here to catastrophize. I genuinely mean that. Because look, this offseason was different. Edward Cabrera came over in a real trade, not a smoke and mirrors move. Alex Bregman signed here, in Chicago, when he had other options on the table. Jed Hoyer showed he can move when he decides he wants to. That's real and it deserves credit. But giving credit where it's due doesn't stop me from asking the question nobody seems to want to say out loud. If the front office has the ability to act with urgency, why is Suzuki still at spring training without an extension in the works? Can someone explain that to me? Because think about it. Suzuki is 31 years old. Not old, not too young to calculate. He's exactly the age where a 3 or 4 year deal makes sense for both sides. For him, security. For the club, continuity at a position that has historically been a headache for the Cubs. Right field. How many times have we seen that spot be a problem? How many times has this franchise patched it together with pieces that never quite fit? And now there's a guy who fits, who produces, who the fan base has genuinely embraced. And the front office's answer is silence. Maybe it's strategy. Maybe conversations are happening behind the scenes, and we just don't know about it. Maybe this gets resolved before opening day, and I'm sitting here worrying for nothing. But it could also be that same old story of treating a loyal player like a given until he's no longer a given. You remember 2016? That team was something special. Young, hungry, Chicago to the core. And it got dismantled before its time. Piece by piece, decision by decision, until the window closed and we were left looking at what remained, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. I don't want to repeat that. Not now, not with this roster. Not with this real chance we have in our hands right now. Jim Bowden already predicted a division title. The National League is wide open. The Dodgers are there. The Mets are there. But the 2026 Cubs have real arguments for going deep. And Suzuki is one of those arguments. One of the most important ones. So here's the question I'm putting directly to you, Cubs fans. Do you think this team can make a deep playoff run without Suzuki producing at the level he did in 2025? Because I don't. And if the answer is no, then why isn't the extension the #1 priority right now? There's a hidden risk here that not enough people are talking about. If Suzuki enters the season without a guaranteed contract and has another incredible year, say 35 home runs, maybe a deep playoff run, his market value is going to skyrocket. And then the negotiation that would have been straightforward now becomes expensive, complicated, and the kind of off-season headline nobody wants to read. That might be great for him as an athlete. But for the Cubs as an organization, it's a problem management is creating unnecessarily by not acting now. And what if a massive offer comes in from another team at the end of the year? What if some big market franchise shows up with a contract the Cubs can't or won't match? I don't even want to finish that thought. What keeps me grounded, honestly, is Suzuki himself. This guy left Japan, walked away from an established career, comfort, family, language, came to Chicago without knowing exactly what he'd find, and he built something here. Slowly, through hard work, through adaptation, through a humility you can see every single time he takes the field. He's not making noise. He's not complaining. He's saying, I hope they say yes with the same simplicity of someone who genuinely found a place where he belongs. That has value. That has human weight that no spreadsheet captures. And the front office has the chance right now to respond in kind, to show that this organization recognizes loyalty, that it doesn't wait for the problem to show up before fixing it. Do you think they'll do that before the season starts? Or are we going to be having this same conversation in August, with a whole lot more anxiety? Tell me what you think, seriously. Because this is exactly the kind of situation that defines what an organization truly is. Not in the big moments, not in the splashy signings, in the quiet ones. In the decisions that seem small right now, but shape everything that comes after. Suzuki spoke. Now it's the Cubs' turn to answer. And we'll all be watching. Let's go, Cubs.